we're back for some question time. First question is from Chris. He asks, as a musician, how has this time of isolation impacted your songwriting? Are you feeling creative and inspired to make music at the moment? And I feel like maybe this performance is a dedication to the time that we've been spending writing new material. I think 3 out of the tunes that we performed tonight have been written within the past couple of weeks. So yeah, I feel really blessed to be living with Finn at the moment and in a spot on the peninsula that affords us some space and time to be really creative and obviously to be able to bounce off each other. So as far as songwriting goes, it's been a really beautiful time, and it's been really nice to take that pressure off having to write for a specific project or write for an upcoming album, but just actually write and see what we can create together instead of writing for something, you know, which is often an added pressure within the songwriting.
Seconded.
Jenny asks, what were your influences in developing your vocal style? This is an interesting question. Because I feel like my style has changed even just through this time of isolation. I think my voice is one of those unique voices that is quite impacted by where I am and what I'm doing and how much I'm performing. I have a cyst on my vocal cords, which means that I have to be quite careful with how I use it. And I guess my earlier influences were a lot of jazz musicians, Ella Fitzgerald, Billie Holiday, Kurt Elling, Vince Jones, a lot of like classic trad jazz singers, as well as Alicia Keys and Erykah Badu and Georgia Ann Muldrow and a lot of R&B, India Arie, and those sorts of things. But I guess a lot of my style comes from this cyst that's on my vocal cords. It's kind of a blessing and a curse. It's like a very natural sound, but yeah, it means that I have to work a little harder on maintaining it. And at the moment, it's very clear, which is very strange for me. The next question is from Simon. He says, you and Finn are both members of the talented 3070 family. Melbourne's jazz and soul scene seems to be thriving at the moment and getting a lot of attention worldwide. Why do you think that is? You can answer this question.
Wow, that's a tricky one. Well, I was lucky enough to join the second 3070 Europe tour last year. That was probably when I realized that, there was obviously a much, much bigger world out there. And everyone was asking about, Melbourne's scene and particularly the underground scene as well, which is really interesting, just how different pockets of soulful music, jazz music and all that kind of stuff sort of connect across the globe. And I think it's really, I guess, Melbourne's and Australia's like quite a young scene compared to a lot of other big cities around the world. And it's just starting to really blossom. And I think it's like this exciting energy that's coming out of Melbourne that maybe people are starting to pick up on around the world, just like New York, London, and a lot of other cities have quite a long history of really amazing jazz musicians. Maybe it's time, for Melbourne to become, its own character and its own living, breathing organism of jazz in some way. Yeah.
I guess, the next question is from Sandy. She says, 3070 is a collaborative project you've said is always changing. Can you tell us what are some of the biggest changes and shifts you've experienced? Well, I mean, even Finn joining the band has been massive. We've had a few changes in members over the years, and of course, being a collective, there's members that come and go all the time, and that's beautiful and challenging and is a cause of creativity and a cause of evolution within the music as well. So that's something that's changed a lot throughout our 5-6 years, I think. And I think also being able to go to Europe and really jump into that scene over there has been huge for us, and we're really blessed to be a part of Rhythm Section. And I personally am on Gondwana Records, so it's been amazing connecting with European audiences, and particularly in the jazz realm. There's just such an appreciative audience there. Yeah. Next question. This is the last question, and it is from Mel. She asks, is it true you only taught yourself piano a few years ago? What's it like to play the grand piano in the sound gallery? Yes, it is true. I bought a piano, I think now to be 5 years ago. And yeah, it's been a pretty crazy journey. I'm trying to go back and learn some chords now and really learn a bit of technique and go a bit deeper, because a lot of my playing is by ear or just by feeling, really. And I've just taught myself and have a really interesting way of connecting chords in my mind that's probably not what they teach at university. So I'm going back and learning and using this time to actually just, take some time away from songwriting and learn some theory-based piano skills. So that's really cool. And the piano in the sound gallery is really nice. I normally play a Fender Rhodes, and it's really nice to play a grand piano. The touch is beautiful and this space is beautiful. So it's been a real honor and blessing to be performing in here.
Best piano I've ever played.
Yeah, we feel really blessed. And thank you again to Monash and everyone here at the gallery. We're really grateful to have been able to perform for you all. Next Wednesday, is the beautiful Mama Alto performing, and the following week after that is Kylie Oldest. So make sure you tune in, ask some questions, and keep creating at home. And thank you again to Finn Reese and everyone here for having us. My name's Allysha Joy. I hope you have a beautiful evening.
We would like to thank you and everyone involved in this experience. For more on the Sound Gallery sessions, visit monash.edu/mlive.